Crossing Lines, the place to be. It is a Friday. The usual suspects are here. Me, Donnie Rightside. There's Jeff Nadu. And by what, like weekend action. Can't wait to get there. Team USA playing today versus Australia. Major League Baseball. U.S. Open. Talking also, Jeff. You know we're going to get viral on so many topics here. Good to be with you. It's a Friday.
Yeah, we got another USA game today. But again, another bizarre scheduling quirk here. Why is this game at 3:00?
Love it.
Yeah, but Donnie, you're not putting yourself. No, everyone's working. Like, what do you not understand?
Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth. Who's working today except
man.
us?
The only people that aren't working are people that work at banks. Most of the society is working. This is the inconsistencies of these people that schedule this stuff. It's a Friday night. Put this game on 8:00. That's why you had 18 million people watching it. This is a stupid idea. Throw in how many people go out to bars at night and watch this. You got little watch parties. You're not going to have watch parties at 3:00. This is a stupid idea. Again, overthinking nonsense.
Record rate. Why, Jeff? All the kids are off school today. Nobody has school today. Bang! Everybody watching big.
No one would have school anyway. School's out for the
go
summer.
At this point. Let's go. Not yet, though. My kid had a graduation. Get this. You had graduation Wednesday, Jeff. Still had school Thursday. Still has a half day on Monday. I mean, come on now. Is anybody even paying attention at that point, man? What are we actually doing? But, Jeff, you know what we do on the show, right? Crossing Lines. Sports, culture, chaos, and conversation each and every day. Monday through Friday. Right now, really trying to build the YouTube channel up and the social media, and you guys have been really helping us out, Jeff. We're probably by the end of the show, over 350 subscribers in the first week. Absolutely love it. Chat box already popping and going off. We don't ask, Jeff, these people to give us monetary funds here. You know what we ask for? Just hit the like, hit the subscribe, comment, circular. Make it around social media and get us popping here, Jeff. That's it, man. We're growing it, though. We are.
I would say, I mean, again, show as far as going live started Monday, right? Yeah. I mean, this show didn't come out until, later in the day on Friday. I think by the end of the weekend, I'm going to try to get us to 500. I got a little idea. So I think we're going to do that. And look, we can get to 500 in the first week. Yeah. That's what you want. Look, it's got to continue to be mentioned, to all the people that watch, to everyone joining in. It's a tough time to start a show. It's the middle of the summer, whether or not we want to agree. I love all sports, but football is king. And, getting it built in time for football, it's exciting.
Yeah, and we're going to have that all happening here. Big things, as we said, hitting the afterburners once we get through the summer. But Jeff and I, we know how to talk topics. We know how to bring everybody into the equation here. And how about this, Jeff? Let's kick it off right now. Hot topics here. Knicks parade yesterday. Did you watch? Millions upon millions in the streets. And we had some we're going to get to some of these things that actually happened, Jeff, at the Knicks parade. But what did you feel from some of the optics here, just to give the people a quick snapshot?
People, at this point, it's nice to see for those fans. But I think, you kind of get tired of it after a while. It's like, all right, this is finally over. You don't got to see this anymore. It's one thing about America that I've always found very interesting is they beat a subject into the ground, don't they? Yeah. I mean, do we really need to see, Donnie, the Knicks on literally every show possible saying the same things over and over? And that's why, I didn't really knock Anunoby for the way he was acting, because it's like, you got to do the same stupid media stuff.
Today.
It's finally over. Once the parade happens, it's great. I thought there'd be more than 2 million, to be honest, but still, 2 million is a lot of people, especially in a city that big. So, hey, shout out to them fans. They deserve it. A lot of them have never seen a title. So, when it happens, it happens. But as I said to you, and once you win a title, that's kind of the top level, right? It's like, what else do you do? Well, you try to go out and win another one. But yeah, good for them. Now it's over. We don't have to hear about it anymore.
Everybody out in the chat box having some fun. Look at that. Akbar showed up in here. My guy here says, my guys, Jeff and Donnie, Jack Falk's out there. T-Knots out here. And a plethora of other people checking with us on a Friday to have some fun. Big news, too, today. We got Dan Alexander, my buddy, coming up at 1 p.m. We'll talk some U.S. action versus Australia, some plays there. Jeff will have you covered on those as well. But just hitting some of those hot topics right off the bat just to brush through. Good night for us, Jeff, by the way, in Major League Baseball yesterday. Profitable all around the ticket. Love to see it, big man. Love it.
You know what? Yeah, shout out to, who is that? Benintendi with a grand slam to give me that team total. I'll take it. Hey, if you'd have told me, Donnie, that they would have only gotten one run off Weathers, I'd have thought you were crazy. And the bullpen would get, because the Yankees have a good bullpen. That don't normally happen. Donnie, I have not lost in baseball on this show. I'll tell you
No.
what, baseball has been really good to me this year. It's been really a really nice moneymaker. I've been happy with it. But we'll have a couple of baseball bangers. I do want to also say,
Hmm?
this is your opportunity, folks, to ask me whatever you want. Okay, at the end of the show, we will take those questions. You can ask Donnie, you can ask me anything you want. So make sure you ask that. They'll keep tabs on it in the background
Yeah.
at the end of the show.
Exactly. Good times all the way around. Baseball profitable. It's going to be profitable again. I guarantee you here on a Friday. But Jeff, we did have some World Cup action yesterday. We're not going to get in deep to these games yet, but 4 games finished yesterday. You know, Canada, Qatar, we'll have a lot more on that. 6-0, absolute beatdown, multiple red cards. But a game I didn't watch late at night, Jeff. Just fill me in. Mexico and South Korea. 50 minutes in, Romo gets a goal. That's all they needed here. Mexico actually into round number 2 now.
Did you see the goal, though?
No, I did. Now, before you tell me, I read about it. It said, did the goalie make a mistake or what happened on that one?
I don't know if we have this video. But what a snafu by the goalkeeper for Korea. That
Right.
just, you got to feel
Yeah.
bad because look, they had played pretty well. I mean, it's a low scoring match. You know, they were right on the doorstep a couple of times, very cagey. But hey, you know, sometimes you need some good things to go your way. And you know, again, we're starting to see after these second games. You know, you look at the storylines today, tomorrow, the next day. This is where, and this is how, Donnie, I think you can start making money in this tournament just by understanding how eliminations work. And that's something you need to realize. I would equate it a lot to, you know, in March, before the NCAA tournament, right?
Yeah.
Or even in like even November with college basketball. You have to understand, what is a tournament game? What is a regular game? What game is at home? What game matters to a team? All that stuff we see. And you look at today, case in point, if Scotland beat Morocco,
Yeah.
they are in the next round, right? The USA play first. So that Turkey game, I mean, that's an elimination game essentially. So there's a lot of little things you have to look at. But yeah, I feel bad for Korea. Again, probably should have had a draw deep into that game with a chance to win, but instead you're fighting back. That was a rough idea for that goalie to do that.
Yeah. A little bit later in the show, again, Dan Alexander is going to join us. We'll talk more World Cup action, also Major League Baseball, some great topics we're going to go over. I have a really hot topic about Rob Manfred, and some people agree with me, some people don't. I'll just tease that into the equation. And also, Mike Trout goes to the IL. We'll talk about that and more, and with players like Byron Buxton, who, Jeff, they're just happy being on. Like I'm sort of flowing into like when I can start to like curse and really let it fly, but I'm going to try to be like professional right now at this point because I get upset with some of these players. We'll get to that too. But Jeff, why don't we kick it off with the World Cup? Canada yesterday smashes Qatar 6-0. Legs snapping on the pitch, Jeff. Angry players back and forth, but Canada wrecked Qatar yesterday. First win ever, by the way, in the World Cup for them, Jeff.
Canada had went under in 10 straight matches, you know, and again, I probably should have just, and this is why, again, I would strongly recommend just don't bet parlays. They're sucker bets. I should have just laid the number with Canada. It was a big one. That said, I mean, my worry with Canada is they would score 4 or 5. Qatar is bad. They went down to 10 men. I mean, they had 2 goals for like the 25th minute. Before the hydration break, I think they had 2 goals. You kind of had to figure Canada was going to put a big one on the board. They seemed pissed off, and they were. Qatar took a little bit of a shot at them late by kind of pouring it on. But look, Qatar ended up being, I think, the worst team in this. They're bad. They have no ability going forward. Defensively, they were a disaster. Canada shouldn't put 6 on any team, but hey, very clinical performance by them. Real quick, Don, I forgot to mention this at the beginning, and I know that a lot of people don't even know this is happening, but the NBA draft is Tuesday, by the way. That is my time to shine. I'm a big NBA draft man. I've already done my mocks. So stay tuned to that next week. That's going to be fun. But back to soccer.
Yeah, absolutely. Back to soccer at this point. By the way, Jeff, have we become a soft society out here? Because like we've seen it all before. Like you get down in there. Jeff's been on the dark parts of the web here. You follow him around there, all his stuff. Like, and again, the macabre, if you want to will, like, hey, this is what's going down in Mexico at this point right now. Some things need to be pixelated out. But when did we get to the point where a guy breaks his leg and they have to repeat it to us? We can't show you this on the telecast. Show it on the telecast. Because all I did was rewind. The dude's leg was broke. Seen it before. By the way, that injury was nasty, and it happened, and it shouldn't have happened, and there was a red card. Look, see, there's my tweet yesterday, Jeff. They couldn't show it, but that's basically what happened to the guy's leg. Tell me a time, and I know you're going to answer the same as me, where The worst injury I ever saw on my TV in a sporting event. I won't go first because I think you're going to say the same thing. Do you remember your worst television injury that you've ever seen? What was it?
I'll answer it, and then I want to comment on
Go ahead.
why I completely disagree with showing this stuff. I don't agree you should show it, and I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
Kevin Ware, Louisville.
Yes, correct.
It's
That's
not
it.
even
The only one.
close. I
It's not
mean,
even close.
yeah,
By the way,
that
real
one
quick, Jeff,
will.
before you get back on that, I remember watching that. I want. Was it Easter? Was it on? Because
Yes,
I was at a family party.
it was early Easter that year.
Yeah, and I don't really mind, like, I've seen things in my life, and it's like, it takes a lot to me. I couldn't believe that one. That was the worst injury in the history that I've ever seen. And I'm talking about watching TV like, hey, a guy got in a car crash and passed away, or this guy jumped. That was the worst injury I've ever seen. And if you remember the bench, like, as soon as it happened, Jeff, they ran away. They ran away.
It was an open fracture of his tibia, I
Oh,
believe.
God.
It was against Duke. I remember specifically because again, it was on Easter, and it
Yeah.
was you're going to have a lot of the people because it's Duke. You have to give Kevin Ware though a lot of credit. I mean, he went on to have a very good
Yeah.
career in Europe and actually made a living playing basketball until like a
Mhm.
few years ago.
Yeah.
Here's why I would strongly advise that we don't show this stuff on camera, and we look to eliminate it from showing it on camera. We have to understand this is gore, period. And this is not stuff that people should see on a regular basis. Take it from me, Donnie, because as you said, I have seen every one of the worst videos on
Yeah.
the internet. I've seen every cartel video. I've seen every terrorist video. I've seen every bad video a person can see. I've seen people get beaten in the face with hammers. I've seen all sorts of bad stuff, miter saws, all sorts of horses and bad stuff. I would strongly advise. I'm always
Yeah.
regretful of looking at it. It's not worth it. And I don't think people should see it. Throw in the fact that, especially kids, women, it's just not worth seeing. It stays with you forever. And it's definitely hurt my psyche a little bit. I think I'm definitely a more screwed up person because of it. So, yeah, I don't agree with showing it. We don't need to see it. You don't want to see certain body parts bend certain ways.
Can we get it
Heck,
once though? Like we can't get like now. Granted, if you're
why,
watching,
why do
everybody
you
can
want to
probably
see it?
rewind it
It's
here. But I just
macabre.
want to like you might be. Hey, I missed what happened on that, and they're all sanctimonious, like they can't show it again. Show it and get it off the screen. Like,
Well,
ooh, that was a bad one.
but this is why like I also like I know a lot of people always say like they shouldn't show like a person that runs on the court, right?
Yeah,
Or something like that.
people will do it again. Copycats. Yeah.
Right. And
Mhm.
I equate it to like do you understand? I don't mean to get political or like kind of controversial,
Yeah.
but do you know one of the main reasons a young person or a nutty person goes and does a mass shooting? Do you know why they do it a lot of the time? If you read a lot of the manifestos, which I have because I've looked into this, they do it because they want to be well known. They want to end their life doing
Infamous.
something that matters. Think if we didn't mention their names, we didn't show them on TV, we didn't give them the credit. That would cut down considerably on that sort of thing. And I just don't think showing that sort of thing really helps anybody and any of this stuff. Don't give them the credit. We also don't want to see any of that stuff. No one truly does. Maybe in macabre, Donnie Rightside does. Do I mind? No, I've seen it all. But most people, they don't want to know that that's actually going on or see it.
By the way, and we talk about Mexico so many times. I want to ask you this question too, because Mexico won 1-0. Goalie Gaff here scored in the 50th minute. They move on. They're 2-0 in the World Cup. Let me ask you like an offbeat question with Mexico as well. While Mexico is playing in the World Cup, do we have a truce, Jeff, between like, the gangs down there? It's like, hey, you know what? During the World Cup, we keep it on the low, or is it business as usual at that point? Or does it slow down like during the game?
No, it's
Always?
it's business as usual. Listen,
Yeah.
we have to go back to like a conversation we had yesterday. Kind of the thought of like, if a woman calls me, I'm leaving. I don't care about the
Come
game.
on, and I'm watching the game.
These criminal groups do not care about like I'm sure. Look, are some of them watching? Yes. No, I posted a video the other day, Donnie, in Ecuador. There were three guys in a bar. Literally, you see the camera pointing down on them. They're watching the Ecuador game. Boom, boom, boom. It's on site. Nothing else matters. The only thing that matters is the war's going on. No, money keeps going. Holidays don't stop it. None of it matters. No, there's no truce. That keeps going. And I'll tell you right now, I mean, these criminal groups are making a lot of money off this
Yeah.
event. That's just the truth.
1-0, Jeff. That finally move on. By the way, whenever I hear Mexico and El Tri, Jeff, I just got to go right to Chicharito. I believe he's calling games and is a big national profile guy now. But I remember him. He was the superstar in Mexico. And for me, who doesn't watch a lot of Mexican soccer, Jeff, 1-0 game. Who is their best player in Mexico right now? Like, who would you say is their best player on the team?
Which see, Chicharito, he's actually also from Guadalajara, so he was always kind of a bigger than life type of guy. The best player from Mexico, that's the thing. They don't necessarily have a Chicharito. I would say probably Jimenez, probably. The guys up front. Mexico, again, you have to be respectable that they've kind of been the first team to get in. They're definitely a team to make some noise. They have a great soccer pedigree there, obviously. They're the first in. Got to give them respect for that.
There you go. And also, let's get back to the parade here, Jeff, because I watched a lot of highlights yesterday from that parade. There were some wild things, and we don't have some of them queued up, but did you see the one, Jeff, where somebody climbed up on the, I guess you could call it like the traffic light signal, and there was a woman sitting below. They had some words, twerking ensued, pants were pulled down, fisticuffs happened right in the middle. I mean, come on now. Show some respect.
Oh, man. The problem with the internet today is like this stuff goes on every day in cities around America. It's just now we have the ability to magnify it. Like these are, again, they're going to get some views, but it's largely just
we had all different angles of it too, Jeff. Like some people posting from the front, some from the back, some from the side, some a shorter version, some an extended version. The girl that, by the way, that's a powerful person that was on there. One hand, Jeff, grabs that jersey and launched the one female.
Buddy, I'm going to tell you, man. Because again, these are my favorite. Not to go back to the type of women I like, but I love a woman that'll fight for you, And them girls like in New York City, they're different, man. They'll beat up most dudes. Those like Spanish girls from New York City, they're tough, man.
Spanish Harlem.
Yeah, like Dykeman, Washington Heights, absolutely. Yeah, even Queens. I got a girl in Queens I talked to.
Don't catch you in Dykeman.
Yeah, she's tough, this girl. She'll beat the brakes off a girl and then beat the brakes off the dude. I was quite impressed. There really wasn't that many big issues. I saw a video. I wanted to post it, but then I thought, that's a little testy.
Bloody head?
There was a guy as he's standing in the parade route, and there was a cop. You know how the cops were the tight, the women wear the tight pants.
Yes, correct.
This chick looked like she had like a couple of basketballs back there.
Wow, BB.
This guy zooming in going, yo, that shit fat. And like she turns around and just like gives him the cop look and like walks away. And he's like, look at that shit.
10,000
I'm telling you, man.
Some got BBLs. You don't know, Jeff. Some got them.
They're just people at the end of the day. But we again, like certain people should not have access to telephones. They're just not. I said about old people. There's just certain people. It needs to be a little tougher to create accounts on. Like it's really dangerous if we think about it. Like certain people shouldn't have phones, man.
By the way, did you see also maybe the one that had the most views from yesterday, Jeff? A gentleman, let's call him, who needed Narcan, which means he was doped up on opiates, heroin, whatever it might be, got the Narcan blast, brought back to life, and the first thing he wants to do is kiss the female that gave him the Narcan blast, tried it multiple times, got pushed back down. But what kind of society are we, Jeff, where you get your life saved and you wake up and there's a female in front of you? Oh, I guess this is what we're supposed to do here.
Yeah, I kind of, it's definitely weird. That was like a weird thing to do. But like when a Donnie, an older guy will be like, call girl like sweetie or like, touch, like to them it's just normal. That's how they did it in like the 60s. Maybe he just thought, oh, she's nice. Like I would have did if it was a dude. I kiss her. She saved my life. I don't know. Yeah, definitely weird for sure.
It was weird.
Like who thought to like film that? Like kind of random.
And how'd the guy get up there with her? I mean, what was he, just fentanyled up, just able to have extra strength to get up there? Then the body just caught out, gets the Narcan blast. He's back to life. Everybody's cheering at that point.
Was it Narcan? Is that what it was?
It was a Narcan blast. Yeah.
So that was confirmed?
Take a little spray, bang, right in the nose, wake you right back up, man. Comes back to life. By the way, look, we have so much time, like other shows, to get down on it. But like, some drug addicts, Jeff, don't like you when you hit with the Narcan blast because it ruins their high that they're having in that moment. Crazy stuff. But again, Jeff knows all that stuff. K&A here in Philadelphia, notorious for that stuff. We'll have certainly topics on that down the road. Other stuff here. And by the way, Jack Folk brings this up. Did you see the Tyler Kolek video? Let me understand. There are very few, and it's crazy to say this. Like if you walk by somebody in public, basketball players are the easiest to recognize because they're usually monsters. Like, yeah, that's Patrick Ewing over there. Jalen Brunson's over there. Like superstar players. Tyler Kolek running around. I put like Tony Hawk yesterday. Nobody knew who the guy was. Gets gripped up by the police. Like, hey, a drunk white fan looking like Tony Hawk is running around. Get this guy out of here. Whoa, I'm Tyler Kolek. And I bet when he said that to the cop, he's like, the hell's Tyler Kolek?
I thought this was goofy kind of as well. It's like, you should know who I am. Like, I'm Allen Houston or Patrick Ewing.
Correct.
It's like, yeah, dude, like,
Peter.
You look at his stats this year. I mean, complete nobody. I think, look, for an event like this, like it's a basketball team, there's only like, 12, 13 guys.
Yes.
You should probably kind of look at it. But yeah, as you said, he had a hat on. It was just kind of lame. I don't know why the guy like acted. He was like surprised he didn't know who he was. It's like, dude, get a grip. Like you're not Jalen Brunson or someone important. I remember Tyler Kolek. He was a great college player.
College player, Marquette.
Marquette. No one's going to remember though that he played on the Knicks. I didn't even know who he was, and I feel like I know a good amount about the NBA.
And also he wasn't wearing, like, I could see, like, he had the Knicks paraphernalia on. Like he had the 1993 World Champion shirt on, but he, like, the White Sox that look like skater shoes, like that. You're right. Like, why would you get mad at the cop? Like, who's this dude running down here with a beer? How did he get out here? Hey, let's surround him. No, they didn't tackle him to the ground and tase the guy. But the fact's like, bro, Tyler Kolek. And he's probably like, well, who's Tyler Kolek at this point? Come on.
If that's Brunson, then yeah, I get the issue. Get upset. But yeah, some bench warmer that never plays. Last thing on the Knicks parade, and then we'll move on. I know people don't want to give credit, but I think this is where, like, I think you have to give me credit for being, not biased.
Mm-hmm.
Mamdani's speech was terrific. Period. He is. I know a lot of people don't like Mamdani. I know he's very controversial. Some of his policies are great. Some of them are really bad. You got to look at it and say, like, he does know how to speak. I thought his speech was great. Shout out to him.
Yeah, there's a lot of great orators in the past. They can read very well for teleprompter. They got their stuff in order, and it's a high point. Like, you're not gonna have any down feelings at a parade. Even you hate the guy, love the guy. It's the Knicks parade. Like, you could just for one day,
like,
Jeff,
they
can get together in New York City.
Like James Dolan just cannot say, you know what? We're just gonna put business aside for one day and shake someone's hand, take a picture. It's always got to be this. Here's liberal. It's like, dude, okay, we enough. Give it a rest. Like,
by the way, we got a quick video too, Jeff, putting the rap on that parade. Did you see the kid get arrested for trying to get to school here through the parade? Do we have that? Can we watch that? Like a little quick snippet that we might have. You know what I mean, Jeff? Like, hey, I got to get across this street here. No, you're not getting across this street. I mean, come on now. Sometimes you got to let the guy go, right, Jeff? Look at this.
Well, I have a feeling if he was white, that wouldn't have happened.
But by the way, was he trying to get to school, or he just said he had to try to get to school? Was he just trying to get to his boys across the street? I
absolutely believe he was trying to get to school.
What school has school, by the way, Jeff? Thought everybody was out for a holiday, and it's a parade. Where's he going to school? William Patterson?
Maybe he just doesn't care about this stuff. There's people have lives. Okay? Not everybody cares about the Knicks. Like, some people. How do we know he's not a student and he's working on some major project?
Where's he going to John Jay? Columbia? Where's he headed to, man?
But this is the backward society we live in. We constantly talk about how this person does this, that. They don't do anything. We have a person who, on the surface, looks like they're trying to get to something, to do something, and we're gonna make it. Look, if he's out there, committing crimes, so be it. But like, other people have other things to do. Just because the Knicks have a parade doesn't mean every single person cares.
I love it. Knicks parade. I don't like the Knicks, but I like a good parade here. Certainly millions of people filling into the city. Now you can get yourself on with the summer, and we'll see next year who has a parade, and maybe the Knicks can go back-to-back, crazy, back-to-back after not winning a title for 50-plus years. Insanity, Jeff. But let's flip it over to some breaking news, and we talk some NFL, and I'm telling you right now, it's June 19th, Jeff. Once we get to July, it's football season. Look at that man right there. He is a Super Bowl champion. He is a dominant athlete when he is engaged. But as we know, Jeff, he already got paid a lot of money being a top 10 pick in the NFL. That next contract, It really hits and goes, I made it. I'm going to have to be as straight lined as I need to be here. The Philadelphia Eagles are one of the most dominant players in the NFL, where they love to lock their young players up. Not yet here with Jalen Carter. What do you think, Jeff?
We do have a history, though, of going pretty deep into the rookie contract before they do it. I don't think it's that surprising. I mean, Jalen Carter has had a lot of issues, if we're being honest.
Back to college, yeah,
go back to college. I know no one wanted to believe it. I had very good authority that Jalen Carter and his girlfriend were basically stealing things from Target, not paying for them. That was a story. Big Dom, figured that out. That was a story back in 2023.
Big Dom on the show, Jeff. Can you?
Yeah.
You got a connection there, by the way? You got a connection somewhere.
I do. I actually know a lot of people that know, but also throwing just during the game, spitting, stupid penalties. He was injured a lot last year. Like
yesterday.
Like, I can understand where they have some apprehension to give him a big deal. But, that said, like, I saw, like, my pal Chase Sr. was throwing out, like, trade Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith for Max Crosby. I don't think that's going to happen. I love Max Crosby, but I really love Jalen Carter. I think he's a transcendent player. But we see this with young guys. You just got to get past the early years. He's still a young guy, man. He's still in his early 20s. I remember how I was when I was in my early 20s, and I didn't have millions of dollars like he has. He has the whole city in front of him. My concern is it just is always this, and he just never matures, and he never kind of takes that next step. I'll give his pal Jordan Davis a lot of credit. The concern I had with him was little out of shape, becoming a pro. Is he going to man up and figure himself out? He has. He lost a bunch of weight. He's become a big-time player for this team. I can understand their apprehension. They're very good at figuring this out, though. I think they'll ultimately do it, but you can't keep having these stupid problems. I mean, throw in one other thing, Donnie. I remember, I think it was 2 years ago at the Saints. He's like back, like bothering the crowd and like just being irritating. Like you got to become a professional, Jeff, at some point. Yeah.
Repeatedly there. By the way, great player. He's looking at $100 million guaranteed. And that's what the Eagles are struggling with. Now, you're right about this because you did bring up Max Crosby. I can't wait for football season to come up here. But you can't give up Jalen Carter to get Max Crosby, because if you are, let's just say the Eagles, they're always connected because Howie's always wheeling and dealing and making phone calls. Grenard on one side, Crosby on the other, and Jalen Carter up the middle. I mean, with that secondary, ridiculous at this point. But let me ask you this question too. Do you feel, because Max Crosby wanted out of Vegas, got traded out of Vegas, and then all of a sudden gets to Baltimore, Baltimore's like, hey, you know what? We can actually get this Hendrickson guy and not give up a draft pick at all. Let's flip this over in shenanigans. He goes back to Vegas, and then he's like, oh, I don't ever want to leave now at this point. I got to tell you, where there's smoke, there's fire. Do you think Crosby gets dealt before training camp out of Vegas? I don't care where he goes to, just out of Vegas.
Sure. I mean, obviously, I think both parties want a fix here. Look, you just basically kind of talked about what I was just going to mention. Could you imagine if they were to somehow able to keep Carter? You have Grenard on one side, Crosby on another.
Good night.
I mean, look, I bet the Eagles recently 19-1. I thought that was way too high to win the Super Bowl. I had it more at like 14, 15-1. But the truth of the matter is you've got to improve, because the other team in this conference, in the LA Rams, who are the favorite and the top team in the NFL, in my opinion, they just went out and got, obviously big-time players, right?
Yep.
You need to match that. The truth is, that's still a very difficult team to beat at this point. So, yeah, I think he will. I could see him staying in that area, not far off, and going to the 49ers as well. I think he will be, for sure.
Yeah, should be good stuff here. And by the way, keep the people updated because we are a live show, Jeff. U.S. Open is live right now. Wyndham Clark sits at 7 under par, 6 under, I believe, in his round number 1 under today through 14 holes. But how about Colin Morikawa? He's 3 under now, Jeff. Shot a 73 yesterday, which was over par. 6 under on his round through 16 right now. Schauffele, Stevens. And if I take a look and scroll down, because I'm not seeing Mr. Scotty Scheffler here up top. Where the heck is Scotty Scheffler as I go down?
Gotta say.
Whoa, +2. No good.
I gotta say, and I
Yeah.
want to shout out Flash and
Yeah.
I saw somebody on Twitter mentioned the same guy, Shoffley. I did play Shoffley to win.
Mhm.
I don't know anything about golf, but he is playing well. I do see a comment about is it easier to make money with college or pro sports? We'll save that for the Q&A, but I have a good answer for that. We'll save that till
Good.
the end
Yeah.
here.
We'll just load up those Q&A questions. We'll blast them off at the end of the show. Perfect way to end our Friday show. But we got a lot more content coming up here. One little quick snippet, Jeff, on college football. I played, Division III football. I had to pay to go to college and play for the love of the game. Never thought the athletes should get paid, not because they don't deserve to get paid. It's just not what the amateur status is. And I was always under the illusion, Jeff, for me, it's like, look, you want to get paid? Don't go to college then. Sit out 2 or 3 years, then go pro, get yourself an agent, work at Walmart, do whatever you got to do. NIL comes in, evens the playing field, Jeff. Some teams now have more money than others. In the SEC, Alabama, they used to be able to get you your Dodge Charger, right? Hey, man, come here. Here's the backpack. Here's the Dodge Charger or Challenger, whatever. Come to our university. Now the fact Alabama doesn't have those big boosters, Jeff, turns out Alabama not recruiting as well as they used to be able to, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah, no. I mean, does that matter really? Like the transfer portal is how you win. Period. I mean, so yeah, again, like 10 years ago they had a great, recruiting class, but it doesn't matter as much. I mean, they'll still be top level. I mean, it's not like they're going to fall off or anything. No, I mean, they'll still get good transfers. I mean, am I
But why
missing
would they get
something
good
here?
transfers if you're not getting paid? Guys transfer because they want to get paid. Alabama's not paying anymore.
Right, but they're still going to get players to come there. I mean, yeah,
Well,
look,
have we ever
it's
seen
not
like 58th now? Like Alabama, the Nick Saban was like 1, 2, or 3 for like 20 years because money didn't matter. Now money matters. How does Alabama go to 58th nationally right now?
But this is why, like, I would have strongly considered moving on from Kalen DeBoer, and I will still say that. It's just not as sexy of a place to go. It just isn't. Going from Nick Saban and a coach like that to Kalen DeBoer, problematic. I mean, that's not surprising to me.
Absolutely. Major League Baseball, who's ready to get down for some action on baseball in the card today. Yesterday, Jeff had a little bit of fun with Major League Baseball, cashing in some tickets. You were on the White Sox there, grabbing that team total. Grand Slam helped you out late. Better late than never, is like we like to say. I lost the Yankees team total, but I did hit my Twins team total, split my plus money RBIs, and then my favorite money line, Jeff, of the day was those Kansas City Royals, which absolutely lit it on fire. 14-6, those Royals hammered the Cardinals. Other doings yesterday, Jeff, Mets come to town and beat the Phillies because it feels like Aaron Nola can't get anybody out and Jose Alvarado stinks at the end of games, and away you move forward. But I enjoyed that card yesterday, and we're going to get to some Major League Baseball today. Love it, man. Baseball on a Friday, Jeff, handicapping, look, nothing better than that.
Yeah, I love it. And again, you had a nice day yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm going to start here before you get into your plays.
Yeah,
Again,
we'll go over the card. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have not lost in baseball on this show yet. Do you want my play or do you not want my play?
Well, what do you got? You want me to go over the card itself, and when we get
Are we
there,
doing it now or are we waiting?
Down? Yeah, hold off on that because I have a quick topic I want to hit, and then we're going to go over the card. I got some plays here. We'll go over the card, pitchers that we like, pitchers that we don't, Jeff's plays here. Let me ask you this question, Jeff, because I'm always passionate about, the wave of the future in Major League Baseball. Rob Manfred, to me, every single thing he's touched in the past 3 to 4 years has been gold. Like baseball was a stagnant, slow sport that people were fading away. You know what he comes in? Nobody can hit. The pitchers can't hit. What a ridiculous rule. One lead, like if Jeff be like the Western Conference has a 3-point line, the East doesn't. Doesn't make sense, right? Exactly. So now we have DHs in both leagues, and we don't have to waste an out on a pitcher, which was absolutely ridiculous. You want to steal more bases? We'll make the bases a little bit bigger. I like that as well. The shift, which was the most ridiculous thing in sports where you couldn't get anybody to even get base hits, now at least you can even the playing field, even though these pitchers are absolutely dominant. But as I digress on this one, Jeff, the NFL, there is a reason why we don't draft kids out of high school. Because they're 17, 18 years old, and that next, 19 and 20 is going to determine actually if they're going to be good football players or not. Let's spend millions of dollars on investments here on guys that might never pan out. That's terrible for the sport. How about the NBA? Yeah, you have your Kobe Bryants, you have your LeBron James, your Kevin Garnett's. I understand that. But the majority of kids coming out of high school flat out busts, ruining your franchise, and you're wasting money. So Rob Manfred's like, you know what? We're not going to have 17-year-old pitchers that will never see the light of day getting drafted number 2 overall because they're just not good. He wants those kids to go to college. You'll be eligible after your sophomore year. Makes everything better here where you have another 2 years to look at these guys before you draft. I love this change. Enough drafting high school kids that will never pan out and kills your franchise.
Why does that matter? These are adults and they can make decisions they want to make. Why should we force a person to go to college? It's insane.
You don't
It
have to
is
force
a
them to do
dumb
anything.
argument.
Not force them to go there. They don't
Okay,
have to go to
but
college.
why are we telling 18-year-olds if they think they're good enough? If some kid from Cuba is an amazing player, he should be able to do
I
what
think
he
it's different for
wants.
international though, Jeff, than
And I hate to
actual
tell you, but
American
using
college
the
players.
using
Yeah.
the NBA argument's a tough one. Some of the greatest players in the history of the NBA didn't go to college, so it's
Yeah, and there's the exception to the rule, but then there's every guy that, like, if we go through a list
Sure.
of guys that got drafted in round number 1 out of high school, you'd be like, holy mackerel. There's a reason. There's
No,
a reason. It's not good for the NBA because you're a fan of a team like the Sixers.
LeBron
I am.
James.
It's one guy. Of course, LeBron
Kobe
James.
Bryant.
Kobe Bryant. Yep, yeah. You got like
Two of the
5 of them out of like 500 that probably got drafted out of high school who you never even heard their names again.
Yeah, I mean, again, you can make that case with everything, but again, I don't understand if maybe you don't want kids younger than 18 coming in, fine. But if a kid's 18, he can make the decision. It's his life. If he wants, it's the same thought of if I.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the players. They all want to get paid. I'm talking about the teams. You got to protect everybody from themselves. So, like, why don't we just have it back to why don't have 8th grade? We could draft like LeBron. LeBron James looks good in 8th grade. I hold his rights. Like, why can't we do that then?
Well, then this should hold you accountable to have good scouts that make good decisions. If you whether you make a decision to draft a kid that's 19 and 20 or 18, right? They go to college for a year. What does it matter? You have a bad scouting department or you have a good scouting department. It's really how it works. Look, you're right. Prospects generally don't work out. Kenny yesterday was talking about the Phillies. The Phillies are a disaster with prospects. It never works. How many prospects have failed with this team? They need to get better scouting, period.
Yeah. And again, your scouts get better when you actually can say, hey, that kid's 20 years old. Hey, looks like he's going to be a player. You know how hard it is? Like, hey, I'm scouting a 16-year-old kid from South Dakota. And all of a sudden he gets in the mind. It's like, this kid stinks. Like, you're right. Scouting needs to be better, but I just want a better form of baseball for these teams where you're not wasting. Oh, well, look, we wasted all these when, hey, if I would have known an extra year on this kid, I would have known that he's 6'1". He just grew to 6'7". Oh, I didn't know that here at this point, or something like that happens. I love it. Rob Manfred, fantastic general manager. Let's get into the baseball card today, Jeff. He's got a lot of games. 2:20 is the start, Toronto and Chicago. Late night here, you got 2 games, 10-10 each. That's Boston and Seattle, Baltimore, and the Los Angeles Dodgers. What do you like, Jeff, on the card today?
I'm going to go to a great pitching matchup here, and I'm going to discuss the best pitcher in baseball right now. Jacob Misiorowski is the best pitcher in baseball right now. Yep. Under 7.5 in this one. Really like this spot. Misiorowski, and I know when a guy comes off a complete game, 15 strikeout, 1-hit performance, the general thought is you might want to fade him next time out. Donnie, what if I told you that over the last 54 and a third innings, how many runs Jacob Misiorowski has given up? Do you know offhand?
Like 1, 2?
1.
Yeah.
In the last 2 months, Misiorowski has given up 1 earned run. He has 12 earned runs he's given up all year. 11 were in April. 1 since. This guy has been absolutely fantastic. Not only is he not giving up runs, he barely allows base runners, 131 strikeouts and 87 innings pitched. I know you're going to say to me, but Jeff, Atlanta, one of the better lineups in baseball.
They're struggling right now.
Yeah. Yep. You're not wrong, but they are struggling. And you look at some of the teams that Misiorowski's already faced this year: Yankees, Cubs, Cardinals, Houston, Phillies. Went to Coors.
Yep.
He went to Coors and didn't give up a run. So when I see a guy going to different situations that could hurt him, it hasn't hurt him. This guy has been absolutely fantastic. Throw in the Brewers have a terrific bullpen. Atlanta's got the best bullpen in the major leagues. And I will give credit to Martin Perez. This guy has been really kind of a guy who just never seemingly breaks. Look, is he perfect? No. He's getting older, though. Still a very solid starter. Still a guy you can depend on for 5 or 6 innings. And as I said, they have the best pen in baseball. Milwaukee's not as good against lefties. I like the under 7.5 here. I made this number lower. At what point, Donnie, do we get to Misiorowski games 6.5? That's the cutoff. We don't go above that.
And by the way, just to double down on what Jeff was talking about here, It's unbelievable because his seasonal statistics, Jeff, through 329 batters he's faced. And again, ISO power numbers are really good pitcher. Like, hey, I'm going to hold you down like a 110, 120. Jeff, he's at a .054 ISO against, a weighted on base percentage, .193, a K rate of 40%. That means, Jeff, 40% of the batters that come up don't even put the ball in play in order to make even a productive out. Let's get to some of his analytical numbers. XFIP minus, I love it. It's based on how that pitcher does, Jeff, but also puts it into a market of where the pitcher pitches. Like, hey, it's unfair the guy pitches in Colorado. We sort of ease up. 100 is the baseline, Jeff. He's a 49. Like, put that, like a pitcher, Jeff, that's like 90. Oh, that's amazing. He's at a 49. His ERA on the season, 1.34. His Sierra on the season is a 2.13. And if you watch him pitch, Jeff, it's not like, oh, this guy's just getting lucky. I don't know how you hit the guy, Jeff. Pumping 103 every single pitch at you, and then throwing in a little bit of changeup action and curveballs. Unbelievable stuff. So, yeah, you're right, man.
By the way, I'm not going to be this guy, but I'm going to be this guy, Donnie.
Bam.
Never pitched in college. Just saying.
Yeah, every once in a while. Where'd he come out of? Where was he? Where was he? Was it South California?
Now listen to this.
Florida kid? Where'd he go?
This is quite the career, right? His senior season was 2020, canceled due to coronavirus.
Right. Yeah.
Right. He then decides to play baseball, commits to Oklahoma State, doesn't go there. Later enrolls at Crowder College, whatever that is.
There you go.
He has a torn meniscus, then commits to LSU, doesn't actually pitch at LSU, participates in the combine, recorded the 8 fastest pitches and averaged 99.8 miles per hour in his fastball, widespread attention, drafted in the 2022 draft. This guy is fantastic.
Well, see, he's older then. Yeah, that adds to my argument there. High school 2020, drafted in 2022. That's how you do it, man.
So he was 20 when he was drafted.
Yeah, see? I would love it, man. Put that bad boy at 20. But I agree. Like Mizorowski, he's one of those pitchers, Jeff, that, like, you got the Greg Maddoxes in the 90s. They were absolutely fantastic. But it's like, hey, paint the corners, 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Like, I like heat. This pumps, man.
No, he goes straight at you. Now, the problem with this is long-term, this is a strategy. Like, the kid can't continue to throw innings like this all year. It's just not going to happen. And look, again, like I said, this could be the game where you're off a great performance. You get teed up here. He hasn't gotten teed up in a long time. But yeah, he's fantastic. I like the under 7.5 a lot here. Like, Donnie, don't you have to start putting his games at 6.5? I mean, with the bullpen they have.
Yeah, but it's the crazy part about that, too, is the psychological effect as well now. Like, oh, we got Miz on the mound. So what's the team thinking the dugout? Let's get the guy 2 runs. Like, we win this game easy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you got there with a bum pitch, like, dude, we better be hammering, babe. This is going to be a 7-6 game today. You're right about it. And maybe the Miz, and just it's a fun pitcher to watch go through where when you plays your team. Like when he played the Phillies, a 95 pitch, 15 strikeout complete game. It was the most unbelievable thing I've seen in a long time. Certainly fantastic pitcher, Jeff. You know what another good one here's? I'm going to go in chronological order here on this one. 6:40 start tonight, 9:57, 9:58 on the rotation. Chicago White Sox, which Jeff had yesterday, nice team total, beat the Yankees on a late grand slam. They're going to take on Detroit, and Tarek Skubal is pitching this game, which again, Skubal back, Detroit not really having a great season. If I look at this game myself and say, how do I want to handicap it? I'm going against Eric Fetty. Now, you see the heavy numbers today. 210, 215 is the favorite there for Detroit. But take a look at this. Eric Fetty's last 94 batters he faced, Jeff, a 365 weighted on-base percentage. So if I bring up this game, it's a 6:40 start tonight, as I said. I got a lot of really good batters in that lineup here. McGonigal's got really good numbers. Dingler, Green, Torkelson, Carpenter, Keith. I think it's a great spot here to go up against Fetty, who's a struggling pitcher. 74 degrees, Jeff. Nice temperatures. Double-digit wind blowing out the left. I'm going to start with a little team total 4.5 minus 118 on those Detroit Tigers today against the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, I won't lie, Donnie. I did play a little White Sox here. And again, same thought process as yesterday. They are a must bet a lot of the time against a lefty. Now, again, Skubal, one of the better lefties. But yeah, look, this is a big price. I mean, you're getting what, 180 on the White Sox? White Sox are legitimate, man. I mean, they've been a solid little team. And what's crazy is isn't their best player been out? The Japanese kid.
Murakami. Yeah, Murakami's been. They still hammer away. They're a fun team, man. But yeah,
I also don't mind an over here as well. Fetty's not good. You have to assume the White Sox will score some runs. I think Detroit will score some runs. 8.5, I could see it. But yeah, it's not the best play on the board to me, but I did take a little White Sox. I'll probably play a little over as well.
Yeah, hard to rate Scooble because he's just getting back, but he's my number 2 pitcher on the card. The worst pitcher I have on the card through 30 innings this year, it's actually Eric Fetty today. 4.94 Sierra number here, 4.50 ERA, 120 xFIP minus. So I like that lineup here, see if we can do some damage. And hey, maybe we get a couple early runs out of Chicago. I always like to call that, you need a running mate in those games to sort of hammer away. So I'm going to take the 4.5 shot there with Detroit. Next game, Jeff, your New York Yankees. Cam Schlittler's been on the mound. He has been absolutely phenomenal. And you look at the board across, Jeff, minus 270s, minus 280s, monster favorite. Louder's on the other side. This total, Jeff, overnight opened up 9. Most outlets now showing an 8.5. We take a look at the game today, which will be in the Bronx. Nice weather, Jeff, about 80 degrees, wind blowing out about double digits to right center field. But for me, if I'm looking at the Yankees, bounce back night. Thought they had some pretty good matchups last night. Didn't work out in my favor. But today, Louder comes to town. He's actually 27th out of 28th on my pitching card, Jeff. A 118 xFIP minus, an ERA of 4.60, but also the worst Sierra on the card today, which is skill interactive ERA, which means what the pitcher does was the defense behind him. That's a 5.10. Yanks bounce back for me tonight, Jeff. Another 4.5 total. It is juicy, but I think the Yanks can get me 5 tonight going up against those Redbirds, or the Reds, I should say.
You see a number this high for an underdog, sharp money will come in and play it. You're not seeing that. I don't think anybody wants any part of Rhett Lauder, especially in Yankee Stadium. That seems a bit concerning to me. I will tell you, though, a guy I love, even without De La Cruz, J.J. Bleday, man, he is a great player. Yeah, he is really good. That's a good little team down the road, I think, too. They're going to have to get some pitching. But, yeah, I like that spot for you here. That screams run line, 7-2 to me or something. I think the Yankees have put up a nice number here off a bad offensive outing.
Next one, Jeff, I'm going to go a little RBI action here. And this Texas Ranger is going to take on the San Diego Padres. And the guy I'm fading in this one, Jeff, is Randy Vasquez. He is absolutely terrible. Look at his last 30 days, Jeff. Combined, 280 ISO against, 419 weighted on base percentage. If you spread it out, he's right in the pitcher, Jeff. Lefties, 259 ISO against, 407 weighted on base percentage. Righties, up the power, 310 ISO against, and a 436 weighted on base percentage. And you know what else you love too, Jeff? Like, it's like, hey, well, if you catch me after my fastball, that's fine. Jeff, he's like a 10% strikeout rate over the past month. So you're putting the ball in play. Really good things can happen. And last night, I did take 2 RBI props. Got one of them there. It's like a plus, I think, 150 price or so, which cashed in. Today, Jeff, I'm going Jock Peterson, lefty to start in that lineup, a 273 ISO and a 359 weighted on base percentage. That's a plus 204 place for an RBI. Then I'm going to come back here a little bit later in that lineup. Brandon Nimmo, not sensational statistics here over the past 30 days, but a 151 ISO against, which is average. So I'm going against a guy that can't get lefties out. I'm taking 2 lefties. I just need one of these RBIs to come in, a 204 and a 166 split. I'll go that direction. Not a lineup I love, but 2 batters I think might be able to do some damage tonight here.
I thought was a little too high. San Diego throw in. I mean, Vasquez hasn't been bad.
Awful, Jeff. Guy stinks.
I wouldn't say he's staying. He's not great, but they have a great bullpen, which is nice.
Yeah, Mason Miller.
I don't know. I just don't think Texas is very good either. So I think price-wise, I don't hate this. Usually you should see this game, it should be $1.10. I mean, you're getting $1.32.
He's out there, Jeff. Come on, man. Resurgence in that guy's career.
Listen, Vasquez has not been great, but I don't think he's been terrible. DeGrom's good, though. You're not wrong. I don't hate it. It's not a game I'll be betting. I don't think it's a terrible price on the Padres, though.
It's always fun, Jeff, when you go out to Colorado. 85-degree temperatures, light wind blowing. It looks like left to right here. I got a player in this game that I got to take. And you look, when you're at Coors, you get a bump in price. We know that. Home run props come down, RBI props come down. You got to extend things. Look at those statistics from Brian Reynolds, Jeff. The last 30 days, they look like they're from like you would play RBI baseball back in the day. That's what it looks like they're from. 34 at-bats he's had against left-handed pitching over the past month, Jeff. A 448 ISO and a 558 weighted on base percentage and a walk rate of 15%. Now, you might say to yourself, well, Donnie, he's a switch hitter here. He'll be batting from the right side. So let's flip up Kyle Freeland's statistics, who's the pitcher in Colorado today against righties. On the season, Jeff, 227 righties he's faced. A 263 ISO and a 418 weighted on base percentage against. If we move it to the last 30 days, which is his last 99 righties he's faced, Jeff, a 337 ISO and a 462 weighted on base percentage. Right smack dab in the middle of that lineup. I'm going to take 3+ hits, runs, and RBI. And if I'm explaining this to the people, if you're not really understanding the terminology, Reynolds is my batter. If he gets any combination, he can score 3 runs, Jeff, and have no RBIs and no hits. That cashes the ticket. He can have 1 hit, 1 RBI, and 1 run scored. Any combination of a hit, run, and RBI. It's such a fun metric to have because how many times do you wager on a game and say, I got to get him to get a base hit? Grounds out to second base. They get the guy out at second. He goes to first. Next guy hits a home run. Oh, that doesn't help you. This it does, Jeff. That's a run scored. I love the hits, runs market there and RBI. It's so fun. He's at 3 tonight. And again, it's Coors. So it's actually at a -115 price, but I still think it's doable. Reynolds been on fire. They're in Colorado. They're the away team, 9 full at bats at the plate here. I think he gets the job done in a fun environment tonight.
You just happen to be on a lot of the games I'm on. I played the over. Yeah, Freeland sucks. I don't think Chandler's very good either. I will say, Donnie, you are, and I don't want to include you in this because you're very good at breaking games down. However, do you know what suffered mightily in this gambling world we're in?
What happened?
I mean, hearing people discuss props is just so boring. I'm sorry.
I
hate it.
That's where the angles are.
Yeah, maybe, but it's not interesting. It sucks. You're good at it. You're about the only person good at it. People want to hear old school. Who's going to win? Is it going to go over? Right? That's why I love college football. There's really no props.
What? Tons of props. Boy,
props suck.
See, I like this. Us doing a show together, you better get ready for the touchdown props in college, the over yards here.
Touchdown prop.
We're going to bring you right over. We're going to bring you right over.
We're not going to bring me over. Props ruin sports betting, unfortunately. Because any of these morons can get into it now. Handicap a game. Tell me who's going to win. Tell me why. That's what people want to hear.
By the way, you got a false flag for us today, Jeff? Have you taken a look at the card? Where's your favorite false flag today? And explain, Jeff, what the false flag is, because we coined that term. We coined this term about 10 years ago.
Well, false flag is like that obvious spot that the whole world's going to be betting, and you kind of go the other way. Look, I think there are 2. One's in baseball, one's in soccer. I think the one in baseball is the White Sox.
It is. It's 100% the White Sox.
Yeah, the White Sox are very good against lefties, as I've said time and time again. Scooble, remember, not only is he coming off that injury, but 2, trying to impress teams because they're looking to move him no matter what they want to say.
One of them. Yeah.
I think that's a little bit more pressure than it's worth. Throw in, and I don't want to hate your handicap here.
Yeah.
Detroit is seemingly a lot of the time a disaster at the plate. I think it's just too big a price on Chicago. This is not a good Detroit team. They have 44 losses in 74 games. They're not very good. I don't think they should be laying 200 to anybody. In soccer, I'll get to it when we have our guest on because he's about to come on, and I think he'll relate to this one.
Yeah, we'll get to Danny in a couple minutes here at this point. But you're right about this, Jeff. I'm seeing about 8 out of every 10 tickets coming in on Detroit today. Some overnight lines are like -240. Where do they sit right now? -205, -200. That's the false flag. And I'm telling you right now, the one thing Jeff is in agreement with, there is no better sport in America to take a look at those false flags than the NFL. Cleveland only getting 3.5. They're going to get killed in this game. Checkmate at this point. So get ready for some of that action, man.
It goes back to like a comment someone had in the chat about they find it impossible to bet the NFL. I don't agree.
I love the NFL.
The NFL, the NFL is a huge moneymaker if you know what you're looking at. Again, you have to be willing like to take yourself from like a novice sports bettor to like someone that like wins, at a decent level. I'm not saying I'm a sharp or anything, but you do it for more than just a hobby. You have to understand that you're going to have to bet on teams that you don't want to watch, you're not interested in. That's where a lot of the time the money works. So if you have, again, a 6.5-point dog in the NFL, favorite on papers at home, the whole world's on the favorite, but we're not moving that up to 7.
Yep.
It's a strong indication that the dog's going to be right there in that game. That's a 4-point game either way. So, we'll get to that deeper and deeper, but I love the NFL. I think there's a lot of money in it. For sure.
And again, I say, you people watching in the chat box today on a Friday, wherever you're at on social media, we thank you for doing that. All we ask you, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, circulate things around social media, because when I tell you, by the time we get through midsummer and this show is hitting the afterburner and we extend some things, heading into football season, the only hangout you're going to need Monday through Friday is right here on Crossing Lines. But I got a hot topic for you, Jeff, here before we get to our guest. And it deals with Bad Bunny. Let me ask you this question, because it looks like, and I'm reading this correctly, becomes the first Latin artist to gross $1 billion, not in bankroll, just in his ticket sales from his tour. Do you like Bad Bunny's music? Because he performed at the Super Bowl. And correct me if I'm wrong, I thought you might have been in love with that Super Bowl show, no?
Bad Bunny's the man. I mean,
Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny.
If you don't like Bad Bunny, you're just a lame. I mean, you don't get any girls. You're a goof. Women love Bad Bunny.
Why do you say you can't get girls if you don't like Bad Bunny? Like,
you
come
can't.
on now.
You have to have, it has to be on. Bad Bunny's talented too. I mean, whether it be English, Spanish, I mean, he's super entertaining. I hate concerts. I don't go to concerts. I would consider going to one of his concerts. Just electric. I mean,
now going for the music, Jeff, or going for the views? I mean, come on now.
Both. Well, as someone who's honorary Spanish person, I'm about as Spanish as it gets where I live. I'm confused all the time for a Boricua. So yeah, absolutely. I love both.
By the way, most people don't know my grandmother's 100% Spanish. Family came from Cuba. And this is your boy DRS here that has that Latin, which is why I like cigars, which is why I absolutely love rum. I can't speak Spanish though, Jeff. That's my issue. Like, he speaks in Spanish. I don't understand. And I'm Spanish.
It's still, it's music that kind of brings you together. So like, I've heard like Russian music that I think's dope. I don't know what they're saying, but it sounds real good. You know, it's like it's just great. I think music's music. You like the sounds, the beats. I think his stuff's catchy too. Like that bum, 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 bum. That song bangs, man. Like in the club. Plus again, women just love Bad Bunny. And listen, when I go out, Donnie, I got a text this morning. Did you see this?
No. How would I see your text?
No, because I posted it on Twitter.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So a girl I'm talking to locally, right?
Yeah.
She hits me up. Happy Friday. I said, same to you. She says, I was talking about you last night to someone, and they said you always got mad girls with you at Yorgos. I said, untrue.
Oh.
But do you know why? Because again, I want to be around women. I don't understand guys that go out to a club and just stand around with a bunch of dudes. What are you doing?
Back against the wall, Jeff?
Yeah, what are you doing, dude?
What's going on?
Where the women at, man?
Gotta get the bottle service, man. Bottle service gonna be popping for Jeff's birthday coming up at this point. By the way, we got action coming up. We're heading into the 1 o'clock hour. We're gonna take one quick break right here. We're gonna re-rack, bring in my buddy Dan Alexander to have some fun and talk some U.S. Open soccer and whatever comes up. We're gonna take a quick break on Crossing Lines. We will be right back. I love Fridays. It's Crossing Line, the only place to be. A half hour left, Jeff. 1 hour down, the power hour. Come on, 30 minutes to your weekend. It's DRS with Jeff Nadu. By the way, Jeff, what you got, man? Come on, 1 o'clock hour. Bring me some heat.
We got some great soccer stuff coming up.
We do.
We're going to go through each game. But I do want to remind everybody watching this show right now, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Yep. And the most important thing, you think you know somebody that might like the show, tell them about it, word of mouth. This is the best and most complete show you're going to find. Donnie and I worked together for years. Yep. So I urge you, be here every day, noon Eastern live. We're building something here.
Yeah, I don't want to go back to waking up early, man. This is my dream life right now with my best friend in this industry here. And by the way, best friends in the industry, sometimes people grow apart. The moment me and Jeff met, the moment we did our first show, we're still here. But you know what? Dan Alexander joins us here. And we go way back as well. Let me tell you a quick story here about Dan Alexander. I did a show with him a couple years ago on his cash considerations. And they said, hey, Dan Alexander's coming in on Friday. And so I'm a space cadet at this point, close to 50. I forget a lot of things. So I go, send me his socials. I want to reach out to him here. The minute they sent me the socials and his picture popped up, I'm like, Come on, man. That's Danny boy. Dan, welcome into Crossing Lines, man. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Dude, Donnie, when they reached out and they said Donnie and Jeff are doing a show, it was a no-brainer, dude.
Yeah.
Because Donnie, it's great to be back on air with you. Jeff,
Yeah.
I've never got to be on with you, but I followed your career. Every stop you've been on, man, you absolutely crush it. So it's a pleasure being on with you guys. I think this is going to be the biggest and best that either of you have done. So it's a pleasure being on with you guys. Now, I'm sure you noticed, Donnie, that I see you rocking the USA.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you love the colors I'm rocking today. A little Socceroo color action I got here for you.
Love it. By the way,
guys-
we're going to get into it. Jeff, give me 1 second here because we're going to get into this. I have so much fun with you. And I say this like not even in passing. Sometimes you just get a guy on a show that you say, this guy gets it here. And when you don't meet the person in person, per se, and you just show up on a show, Dan, I'm telling you, when I did that shit, you stuck out right away as like, that's my type of guy. And Jeff, like when I see Jeff, Jeff is like the opposite of me in many ways, but we met so well together. Dan, I just wanted to tell you, man, following you all the way through, whenever you're on camera, man, you get it, and we're ready to rock.
Appreciate you.
There, I just wanted to
Thank you,
hype him up right here, Jeff. Get into it. What do you got?
Well, I like his energy already, and I like where he's going. And look, I think in betting and doing this type of work we do, you're going to get a lot of shit. I got a lot of shit.
Do.
All right, fuck off. All due respect, okay? I'm about money. I don't care about patriotism. I don't care about fanboy foam finger nonsense.
Come on.
Who is going to get the job done? Look, Donnie, I'm looking at these odds. U.S. down to minus 130. The whole world is on the U.S. They're going to not win today. Trust me. Australia is going to cover the half goal. And I think Dan's on point. Listen, here's my problem. You look at the Australia side. I was very concerned against Turkey. They give up 30 shots. 30. Not 20, not 25, 30. They will take pressure. But you look at the end result, Donnie, they won 2-0. They were just more quality. Here's the issue with the U.S. They had a lot of pressure coming into the game, but they answered the call. Now you have even more pressure. Now you have even more money coming in. I mean, again, we're going to see this whole world's in the U.S. Matt Beach, the goalkeeper for Australia, was fantastic. And they're a good counter team. I think plus a half a goal makes a lot of sense here. I could see this game 1-1. I really could. And I think a lot of people will wonder, Australia was pretty damn good. I think it's 1-1. I'm going to take the half a goal here. I'm getting plus a half a goal, plus 135, Donnie.
Now, there's no way Dan can come across the bow here and back up Jeff Nadu here on the day we're going to be cheering for the U.S. I already see the garb he has. And by the way, I know what he likes. Dude. I'm trying to persuade him. Does he want to go down this territory again? Take it away, Dan. U.S., Australia, 3 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Break it down. Don't hurt me.
All I know is I have a feeling that after this, my mentions are going to look quite like Jeff's mentions. And the man's always going to war. So we're going to war together here, Jeff, because I think he kind of nailed it. And just to underscore a lot of what Jeff was saying and maybe put some numbers behind it as well, Australia is a terrific counterattack team. That game against Turkey, they only had the ball 28% of the game, and they won 2-0. Like, that's not something you can ignore. They only had 4 shots on target, and they made the most of those. Now, for the USA, I think Jeff kind of nails it as well because they answered the bell, sure, but Paraguay, 10 minutes into that game, guys, already gave up an own goal. And then it looked like they wanted to take the ball and go home, pack up lunches, forget it, boys, not our day. So did USA really have to beat a Paraguayan side that's usually a lot more stout? No, it seemed like the energy that was behind them, the fact that it's, the opening round of the World Cup, all that excitement, USA as a host nation, stage was just too big for Paraguay. And then you look at Australia, they played, in my opinion, on paper, Turkey was actually the class of this group coming into this. However, they're such an up and down team. When things go wrong for Turkey, they go wrong in a hurry, and they can roll over kind of like what you saw Paraguay did. So for Australia, the fact that they barely had the ball and they win 2-0, boys, scoring a goal in soccer is like insane. That's why you see 0-0 score lines, 1-1 score lines. So for me, what happened with the Team USA? Despite the fact that they dominated that whole game, they conceded late. They conceded late just like they did in 22 of their last 24 matches. They have allowed a goal. Why would I think that's any different here today? And I don't see a 4-1 scoreline for USA. I see them scoring a goal, maybe they score 2, but Australia has shown that they will not roll over in this game. And you have a goaltender on the USA side that saw one shot that entire game, guys. One shot that was on cage. What happened? It went in. He's going to see a lot more with this stout offensive counterattack that you're going to see from Australia. I think both teams to score is in play. Maybe that's a safer way if you don't want to full-on fade the USA. But I'm right there with you. That plus 135 on the double chance or the half a goal, however your book calls it, that's the way that I want to attack it. I think Australia could be live to win this game outright, but I want that draw in chance because USA, with already a game under the belt, a draw doesn't kill them in this group, guys.
See that? Lined right up with you.
He's dead on the money, too, because we have to get to the point in soccer and understanding that sometimes a group will just take the draw. The U.S. has already won. Their goal differential is much higher than everybody else in this division. Unless they lose miserably in this game, they're advancing, okay? And at some point, you're just going to say, you know what? Job done. We're good to go here. Throw in, and I know no one wants to hear this, but I'm going to keep bringing it up. Books are getting crushed in this tournament. Every big goal scorer is scoring 2 or 3 goals. The Messi goal scorer the other night, I mean, the whole world was on that. They're going to get some get back at some point. You're going to see money, tickets all over the U.S. Why is this number dropping? And continue to ask that question. A number should not be dropping when the whole world's on the side. It should be going up. This number should be in the 200s by now. It's in the 130s now. Very questionable stuff here. I relate this a lot to Cape Verde because you go back to the goalkeeper, and I give the Australian manager a lot of credit. They benched their current goalkeeper and put this guy in, Matt Beach. He plays for Melbourne Victory, I believe they are. He was terrific. And the guest is right, Dan. Turkey is very up and down. They bossed that game. They just couldn't find any goals. Arda Güler was really good. I think Australia's the side here, plus a half a goal.
Dan, let me ask you a question on this because, and again, Jeff points out that line is dropping. You know, being on social media, taking a look around, I like to be I have my doctorate. I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV. I'm the hamstring king. You tell me somebody's got a hamstring issue and they're fine. I'm telling you they're down 2 weeks. Now we're talking about Christian Pulisic, one of the best players on the American side, practicing away from the team, calf injury. Look, calves don't go away after 24 hours. What are we seeing from this angle, Dan, on maybe Pulisic not playing today? And if he doesn't, what that means for the game itself?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. And you can't talk this game without talking about Captain America, Christian Pulisic, potentially not seeing action. Now, you heard the USA manager speaking about it. He said Pulisic should be and will be. It felt a lot more like should be available today. Now, when I hear things, it's the same like with NFL offseason. You know what I mean? Sometimes the way people phrase things tell you everything you need to know. And should be available means Pulisic probably does not start in this match. Now, how much does that matter? You saw the offensive output that they had even without Pulisic, but that tackle where he kind of get rolled up on behind, he never really looked the same, and then they sub him off early. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And I think for a team that absolutely exploded onto the scene, and what do we know about this United States men's national team is when it feels like the U.S. is finally behind them, that's where they find the letdown. Now, luckily for them, it's only match day 2. So match day 2 against Australia, maybe you can get a win here without Pulisic. But also, I think a draw without Pulisic is a fine outcome for him, which is, again, why I think you're just seeing that reverse line movement that Jeff is talking about. And also, when you talk about prohibitive favorites here in the World Cup, you're talking about teams like Brazil, who, are minus 1,000. You're talking about teams like Ecuador tomorrow, who's minus 900. Those are teams that are slam spots. Let the line lead the way on this one. And if the USA is such a slam dunk spot against this Australia team, why are they only minus 130 and dropping? I think a lot of that drop probably has to do with the fact that people don't expect Christian Pulisic to be in. But I think my handicap landing me on Australia is completely agnostic from anything that has to do with Pulisic because he really wasn't even a factor in game 1.
Sorry, I just don't if you're a gambler and you try to sell me that Australia is the player, I just don't think you know what you're talking about. I think you're a patriotic, foam finger waving, nacho eating guy who just is too obsessed with his emotional side. I don't think if you as a gambler looking at this game, you can actually make the case that the U.S. is the right side. They're not. They aren't. No, Donnie, you're smart. You know this. The numbers don't move this way. And the Pulisic stuff is good. I heard a lot. Alphonso Davies was going to play yesterday for Canada. Didn't see a minute. They didn't need him. But if let's say the U.S. goes up 1-0 in this game, 60, 70th minute, you've won. A draw, it wouldn't even matter if they came back and drawed. So I just don't think there's going to be as much. And as he said, it's a great point. There's a lot of pressure here. I mean, it's the second game now. You know, that first game, those glitz and glam lights are out of the way now, right? And look, Australia plays soccer too. The good thing is, though, and I know people thought I lost thousands of dollars for this. It's still just a unit if I lost, but the right side is Australia, period.
And one thing I'll say too, guys, if we're just going off of vibes, the Australian fans, the Socceroo fans have come proper and have been dropping some banger chants in the stands. I don't know if you've seen the videos circling around. USA fans can't even get on a damn beat. So if we're just going vibes alone, man, Australia's got to be live here, man.
Yeah, we got to get some better chance, Jeff, in the U.S.
Yeah,
the world has great chance, and we got I believe that we will win. Get that out of here. I mean, I love the U.S. Come on now.
High school Harry shit. That's high school Harry shit.
Can we just agree, and like, I know we're all American here. Can we disagree, like, watching people cheer for American soccer, like, it's just goofy. Like, they're corny.
See,
like,
I mean,
they're lame.
Jeff is Albanian at heart. I mean, come on.
No one wants to hear American people. Like, we know it's just forced. Like, those people don't care about soccer. It's forced.
The Outlaws? You don't love the Outlaws out there, Jeff?
No.
Come on now.
And I'll tell you who they should hire for this work. It'd be me. Do you know I was banned from high school sporting events for a year after I graduated because of my behavior in student sections? They should hire me. I was ruthless.
Jeff is definitely ruthless. By the way, Dan, we got a lot of action on the card today. U.S. is just the first game with Jeff is furious at 3 o'clock. I love it at 3 o'clock. Going to get off this show, sit back, relax, watch a little U.S. Scotland, Morocco, 6 p.m. Brazil, Haiti at 8:30, and then Turkey and Paraguay late night. What are we looking at, Dan, from the rest of the card on these 3 games that we can watch out for?
Yeah, I'll give you thoughts on all 3 of these games. Some I feel a little bit stronger than others. So we'll start in sequential order here. 6 o'clock, you're going to have Morocco facing off against Scotland. It's starting to get a little bit rich. The number's getting a little bit outside of play range for me, and that's just taking Morocco on the money line, the 3-way line here. It was Scotland. For all the ballyhooing that you had heading into the tournament, that this Scotland side, you know, they could really put up goals in bunches, which sure they could against teams like Bolivia and Curacao. Now they only got 1 goal against Haiti. Talk about an underwhelming performance against the minnow of the group. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ledger, this Moroccan side, they get a 1-1 draw against the powerhouse that is Brazil, holding down that offense that is prolific to only 1 goal and actually having them get the first goal in the match that completely changed the tenor of it, throwing a little bit of water on the excitement for the Brazilian side. Morocco money line for me was a play when it was around minus 130, 135. Now we're looking minus 155 and north of that. So don't really want to get involved at that type of price, guys. Typically my jump out spot is anywhere around like minus 160. Maybe if I really love a prop, because we know in prop markets you get juiced to hell anyways, I'll bet something up to minus 170, 175. But a 3-way line in soccer at minus 155, that's a bit rich here for me, but I do think Morocco is the right side. I think maybe you take them to score a goal, throw that in a parlay with something you like a little bit later in the day, because I do think they get on the board. Now, does Scotland add into the scoring as well? That's the bigger question, which is why, even though I think Morocco could score, maybe you're looking at an under 2.5 if you don't want that buy price of minus 155. Maybe you look at Morocco to win, pair it with that under 2.5 and get a nice plus money price at that.
I did play both teams to score plus 108. Here's why.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, Scotland win, they're in next round if they win. That's pretty impressive. I agree with you. I didn't think they played real well in the second half. I think they were just fine with a goal. They defended. And look, Haiti was solid. They just couldn't find the back of the net. I like their midfield, McTominay, John McKinn. I like their guys up front. I think they can get a goal. I think Morocco's getting a little too overvalued in the market. Look, I give them a lot of credit, but you look at against quality sides, they'll give up a goal. Throw in. We have to talk a little bit about long-term in this tournament. You know who, Dan, some of the teams they had to qualify against were? I mean,
it wasn't quality. It wasn't
Mali.
quality.
I mean, I'll just ask Donnie. Donnie, do you know where the Comoros are?
No.
Yeah, like Zambia. I mean,
Oh, Zambia.
this,
Yeah, come on now. Soccer haven.
but
right?
this is Madagascar,
Oh,
Burundi.
great
I mean,
movie.
what are we doing here? But what I'm saying is against Ecuador, Norway, Brazil, Paraguay, goals were given up. I think Scotland can find a goal here. I could see a 1-1 here, surely. I took both teams to score plus 108.
Let's set the next one up there for you, Dan. Brazil and Haiti. Lincoln Financial Field, or as it's known now as Philadelphia Stadium. The Brazilians are in town. I'm surprised Jeff's not hanging out down in South Philadelphia today, but what are we getting? High scoring with Haiti and Brazil?
Dude, forget that. You see the ticket price for this Brazil and Haiti game? Yeah, I'm not making the trek down to Philly for that one either, Donnie. Forget about it, man. But, you kind of heard Jeff talking about how he didn't really hate that attack for Haiti, despite the fact that they don't end up finding a goal against Scotland, because they did kind of grab that lead. They parked the bus there. This comes down to a math equation for me, guys. And with Brazil only getting one goal against Morocco, it did kind of feel like, and I think Jeff kind of underscored it there, that maybe that was a Super Bowl type get up spot for Morocco. You got Brazil right out of the gate here. So they gave Brazil their best crack. Now, here's the interesting note is Haiti as a team here, guys, just playing against Brazil is such a big deal for this nation, right? The fact that they're even here in the World Cup, and if you think about, the issues and environmental issues that Haiti had over the year, one of the biggest groups and one of the biggest countries that they had that came to their aid was Brazil. So there's a serious kinship between these two nations. Now, why do I bring that up? Is because Haiti scoring a goal against Brazil would be like winning the World Cup. That nation will explode if they find the back of the net here against Brazil. And it's a Brazil side that, frankly, guys, they concede to everyone. They've only had 20% of their games in recent memory having a clean sheet, not allowing someone to score. So this Brazilian team, even when it's against lesser opponent, because they know they can outscore anyone, they tend to let up a goal. I mean, you look, they let up one to Egypt. They let up two to Panama. They let Croatia score. They lose to France 2-1. They let Tunisia score. Last shutout was against a team like Senegal, and then they lose to Japan 3-2. So this is a Brazilian side that regardless who they are playing against, they get a little bit lackadaisical, especially when they end up with a lead. So the math equation for me is I think Brazil get to 3 goals in this game. After not being able to score in game one, I think they're going to look to flex their muscle. I think they're going to look to finally get a little bit of differential. Now, can Haiti get on the scoreboard? And I think there's enough possibility there for me, guys, that I would like to go with the over 3.5. Now, Dan, if you think Haiti can score, why don't you just take the plus money on both teams to score? Well, the also real possibility is Haiti doesn't even play with the ball in the offensive end. That is just as much of a possibility as them finding the back of the net. So I make it the math equation. I think we get at least 3 from Brazil. Can we get 1 from Haiti? Maybe, and that pushes us over. Or don't be shocked if you have a 4-0 score line or more for Brazil. I think Brazil flexes their muscles a little bit here against Haiti. Can Haiti get on the ledger? That's the little wrench in all of it, but I'm going over 3.5.
Like Haiti, 1.05 expected goals against Scotland. They should have scored. They didn't. Will they be as good going forward today? I think that's a great point by you. It's can they string possession together, let alone score? One bigger thing about this whole World Cup that I hope we see is we have to. This is a country we live in where we want to get involved with everybody's business. We need to start getting involved with Haiti. It is a hellscape where a lot of bad things are happening. It's been turned over to criminals, and we need to do something about it. Problem is, no one will because no one cares about Haiti. Maybe this World Cup will bring some sort of awareness. That said, they're going to score a lot of goals, Brazil. Rapinha to score anytime, minus 110. I did play that. 55 goals for Barcelona in 2 years. Throw in, outside of Neymar, he is the top goal guy on this side. He had 5 goals in qualifying. Rapinha will get on the score sheet. I took him to score. That's it.
Turkey tonight versus Paraguay. Yeah, by the way, hit him up on that because I need your best goal scorer today, Dan, that we can put some action on, and then hit me off with the Paraguay game.
Okay. Yeah. So first things first, we'll start with that Turkey Paraguay game, and then I'll go down to the ledger here, see who we
Love
like
it.
to get a goal, and one that, I don't have to lay juice to do so, because sometimes picking a goal score is like picking a needle in a haystack. But I do like that look from Jeff there. Full disclosure, guys. Turkey tonight on the money line. I don't care if it's square. I don't care if it's false flag. I'm going. I'm doing it. I still can't shake the fact that pre-flop heading into this tournament, I really liked how Turkey set up in this group. And now, after that loss in match day one, no one's really interested in backing this side. Oh my God, they got shut out. Well, guess what? Paraguay also, we talked about in that USA team, they rolled over the same exact way, right? Like they let up that own goal and then they didn't even play. So things can snowball for them as well. And now you have a Turkey side who, when they are on, boys, they can hang with anyone. And now there's a sense of urgency because they're sitting -2. You need to find a win here against Paraguay because all you have on deck is a game against the United States. Now, if the U.S. does end up winning here with Australia, maybe they're signed, sealed, delivered, and that match day 3 doesn't matter at all. So Turkey maybe is scoreboard watching here a little bit. But I think regardless, even heading into that United States matchup, they're going to want to come with a little bit of momentum. So while Paraguay might not be as poor as they looked in match day 1, they still don't match up with what Turkey does best. They have more quality, they can attack better, and they also just have more ways to control the possession and control the game. So the fact that we're getting plus money on this one, maybe they're baiting me, Jeff, but give me that plus 105 money line. 3-way, Turkey is the side for me.
I'm a little stubborn with Turkey. I actually think they're a pretty damn good side. I think they have a ton of quality up front. Is there times where they look poor? Yes. In qualifying, I think they were really good, though. I think they will win today. I think goals are on the menu here, too. If you watch, for particularly like the second game of a Champions League, teams need to go for it. If Paraguay's down in this game, they're going to have to go for it. There's really no opportunity now. So, yeah, I think goals are on the menu. I think this is probably 2-1 at minimum, but I think Turkey get the job done. Nice price here on them. Too much quality.
I love it, man. Great stuff. Talking some soccer here on a Friday afternoon. Even if both of these two don't believe that we will win, your boy DRS believes that we will win. Dan, fantastic stuff. By the way, where can we catch you around social media and what you're doing out there?
Yeah, best way on any channel that you're on, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, X, wherever, just follow at Newbie Talks, NEUBYTALKS. You see it underneath there. Dan Alexander, go with that because Alexander is my middle name. The true last name is Newbert, but nobody spells it right, guys. So that's where the Newbie Talks comes from. So you can follow that at NEUBYTALKS. Here's one that I got here for you, Donnie.
Yep, let's go.
No Pulisic. Somebody's got to find the back of the net for USA if we like both teams to score, right? So for me, let's go with the guy who I love, Timothy Weah. You got plus 340 on him, anytime goal scorer. Because he is not on the pitch is Pulisic, as I expect to start the game. I wouldn't even hate a little bit of sprinkle Timothy Weah. First goal scorer, 10-1. Boom. I got some USA love for you by the end of the program.
Love to see it here, Dan. By the way, don't be a stranger to this show, man. We are just starting some really good things. You're one of the best guests that I've ever talked to in the past. No, look, not blowing gas at you. I see it right there. Jeff, you two are married already because you're betting against the United States. Fits like a glove at this point right now. Dan, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Have yourself a good weekend and cash in some of those bets, brother.
True pleasure, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. These two guys are growing something great with this Crossing Line show, so smash that subscribe. And I'll be back. You just send up the bat signal. I'll be there, boys. Best of luck this weekend.
There it is, Dan Alexander right there. Jeff, how about that? You two are kinship right there already. Betting against the U.S., feeling good. We'll see how it turns out at 3 o'clock.
Smart guy. I think as a gambler, you have to be able to see that. So.
Yeah, Dan's awesome right there at this point, Jeff. But you know what we got to do? We got to handle some business here. And we got a little bit of extra time. I wanted to bring this up before we get to some of the hot topics. This weekend, Jeff, and I know it's personal, like I've met your father, was a great man. I still have my father around. I'm going to see him Sunday. It's Father's Day weekend here. So I want to give you a little bit of time to talk about Father's Day, what your father meant to you. Maybe some of the people out there in the chat box can share some of those things where even though somebody has moved on, Jeff, still legendary status in your life. You tweet about him all the time. I know how much you care about him. It's Father's Day. Go ahead.
Yeah, this will be my second or actually third Father's Day without my dad. He died in 2023. He was look, I don't say this lightly. I'm a pretty negative guy if I'm being real. my dad was the greatest man to ever exist. I owe him my life for what he did for me. I was a dumb, stupid kid who never wanted to listen to anybody. My dad was very patient with me. He put a lot of time in with me. He did not want me to have the life that he did. I never apologize about that. I grew up a great way. I had great parents. And the reason I'm here today is because of them. My dad died very quickly. It was very hard for me. My family will never be the same. And unfortunately, that's just how life works. But I miss you very much, Dad. You were a powerhouse. I just hope everybody has the same dad I do. So happy Father's Day, Dad. I miss you very much.
Yep, there you go. And that's why I wanted to give Jeff that time, because I know how much it meant. And again, a lot of people like celebrations. I was always tell Jeff at this point, like, we can always look back at some of the negatives there, but you hold those memories true. And Father's Day is this weekend. Jeff's dad, and again, it's not me. Oh, Jeff, I thought you had a great dad. Like, I know Jeff's father personally, met him many times. I mean, that was a rock-hold foundation in that. And when Jeff says he didn't want to have the life he had, Jeff's dad lived a great life, but Jeff's dad was a laborer, which means Jeff sits in a chair and talks on TV and has a lot of viral moments here. And you might not see like the kinder parts of Jeff, and Jeff has feelings here. So I wanted to give Jeff a few moments here and talk about Father's Day and how much it means to him here. And look, you see the passion that Jeff has in sports equally for his family as well. Jeff's a good guy, man.
I appreciate that, Donnie. And I will just say this about my dad. My dad was one of 15 kids. He did not go to high school, dropped out in 7th grade, went and got a job and learned life, figured it out, became a very successful person. He had a tough growing up though. And yeah, he always instilled in us, go out and do what you want to do. Don't work for nobody, you know, try to have some control of your life, do what you really enjoy and love. And we've all done that, me and my siblings. But, you know, Don, I want to give you some credit because I know your family as well. I know your daughter just graduated. She's going to go to high school. You're a great dad as well. And I hate to be sappy here, but I always will say, you know, if you want a good life, you should try to have a life like Donnie. He's got a kind of all-American life. He's got the dog, the child, the nice house, the beautiful wife. So he's got a good life. Donnie's got a good life.
That's why we team up, man. Jeff and I get each other here, but sometimes we are going to get personal on the show a lot of times, the good and the bad at this point. But I know Jeff's family very well, always rooted for them there. And like, even sometimes like we bring out, and I don't want to go like down at like, you know, even for when, you know, Jeff had the funeral, like he didn't have to ask me like, hey, I know, no, Jeff, I will be there. And I was there at those moments here. So Jeff and I are really good friends. This isn't one of those, hey, we just pair these two guys up out of nowhere. Like Jeff and I's lives are intertwined, even though we're 2 hours apart.
Family will never forget that. The fact that Donnie and his wife drove. I mean, Donnie lives 2+ hours. Got to go through Philadelphia to get to where I live. Yeah. I mean, as people know, I mean, the funeral's not 6 hours long. I mean, it's a quick, hey, you know, he came. That's stuff that because when I get off here, I'm very ethical. I live my life remembering things, and that's something I'll never forget. It's very respectable and meant a lot to me and my family. So. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. I should have said it to Dan. I think Dan's about to have a child.
Whoa.
Shout out to him.
I'm going to check in with Dan at this point. But happy Father's Day to all out there, Jeff. But we do want to end with a little bit of, you know, action today in the chat box with some Q&As out here. So I'm going to try to scroll up to see what we have. A few of these. Jeff, and again, you already expounded on it, Jeff. Why is it easier to make money in college sports than pros? Go ahead.
It's easier. I think, you know, in the NFL and the NBA, I think people put just way too much stock into the players and the meaning that they have. I've always said, I don't know if players mean that much. Certain players mean a lot, but I just think there's also more emphasis on the NFL and the NBA. There's not as many games. I mean, you look at NFL schedule, there's 18 games. Throw in, I mean, college football, there's just so many more teams and just so many different things. I wouldn't say it's easier or less. I think both are pretty opportunistic. But you have to find what works for you. College has worked for me for years, but so has the NFL. I mean, you figure college basketball, you have 365 teams. In the NBA, you have 32. So there's a lot more places you can go and hide and find value. And if you have the ability to put the time and the work in, you can have success. But it doesn't matter. If you find something that works and you put the time in, you're consistent, you put out quality, it'll work. It really doesn't matter what sport it is.
How much fun we're going to have, too. Again, just getting started here in the summer, talking baseball. Like it's a shame, too, because we get in, Jeff, we couldn't even like get the extended, you know, NDA series. But here we are talking throughout the summer months. Jeff's going to be away for a little bit here. He's going to be out in Vegas in a couple weeks. But as this thing gets rolling, a lot of fun stuff. How about this one, Jeff? If you had to name your child after an MLB stat, What would you name your child? Well, it certainly would be error. I mean, that'd be terrible. Like, hey, we didn't want to have you, kid. It's an error. I'm going to go home runs, triple. Like, that's a nice little nickname for a kid, right? What would you name him after a stat? Like XFIP? Would that be a good name? Like Elon Musk would probably name his kid XFIP at this point. But for me, I don't know, maybe triple as a little, like if it's the third kid, hey, that's Donnie Triple, Seymour / Rightside out there.
It would have to be a son, I would hope. War?
War Nadu.
Yeah, that's kind of a boss name, no? Yeah. Like War, it's like he's a warrior, like Waba for a girl. I don't know. I don't know. That's a bizarre. That's a bizarre question.
Yeah, Jack Falk, whip for a boy. Sierra for a girl, Jeff.
Oh,
like I just that Sierra, not spelled with the 2 R's like Sierra, but Siera, still Sierra. Good one right there, Jack.
Yeah, actually, Waba, Sierra, walk for a boy. I don't know. Walk Nadu. Used to be a big wall. You still walk a lot these days, Jeff? What do you do for your exercise, by the way? That's a question I'm asking for. Miles a day, my man.
Just getting it out there. This shirt off when you're outside when it's hot or no? Keep it on, sweat it out?
Oh, no. I actually wear a sweatshirt. It's just more sweat, I do a lot of cardio.
By the way, this has been our first week live, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Jeff's been down the shore. Now Jeff's back home. Things are starting to settle in. The energy is always going to be high on this show. And as we end things up on a big weekend here today, huge soccer weekend, a lot of fun, Major League Baseball, Father's Day on a Sunday. Thank you for tuning in this week. Hopefully the numbers of subscribers continue to rise. If you're watching this now live, you haven't done so yet, hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment in there, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on a replay, do the same thing as well. And also, if you're just watching, a lot of people are watching through Twitter, Rumble, Kick, whatever it might be, whatever that source is here, spin it around because we love to have fun on this show, Jeff. And what do you got? One final thing for you, Jeff, before I close it down.
Hang out. One other question. Was your dad a sports fan? How did you get into sports?
Yeah.
No, my dad actually was not a sports fan. And I actually talked about that at his funeral. You were there. My dad, he didn't want to go to Eagles games and stuff, but he knew I did. He knew I cared about it. And, I didn't always relate to my dad. Up until I was like 18, 19 years old, I didn't relate to my dad at all. I thought he was annoying. I thought he was just being he didn't want to ever agree, thought everything I did was dumb. But I think that was his one way of trying to relate to me. And when I was super young, my dad worked a lot. I mean, he was out in Exton or Westchester or the city trying to work and make money. So I didn't see my dad that much, but he definitely tried to relate. And I remember in 2009, he called me and he said, called D'Amico. That was my best friend. D'Amico. He said, we're going to the World Series, Phillies, Yankees, Game 5. I said, you're kidding. And it was something I always remember. I remember he took us to Eagles games, Phillies games. There's a great photo I posted.
I saw the Phillies photo back at the vet. Was it the vet? Was the vet, right?
Yeah, my mother and father, they were such great people. I remember, I want to cry because like my mother got us all like shirts to match, and it was just super cool, man. I don't mean to cry, but
I love it. That's passion.
Those little things about your life, like you just
see that. I remember people not watching, Jeff. Like this is real life. Like I said in the chat box, like we're real people. At the end of the day, like you can say like we're very good at throwing arrows, and we're used to getting arrows thrown back. But sometimes you just got to bring it up. And I didn't tell Jeff I was going to come and say, Jeff, make sure you have something ready for your father. I knew you were gonna be ready for that, and I thought it was a perfect moment to do it. It's great memories, man. It's great memories.
They played the Dodgers. I remember it was. I want to say Chan-Ho Park started for the Dodgers, a good old Chan-Ho Park. But it's memories like that you live your whole life and you remember. And my parents were so good at like making those memories. And my dad, he did not love sports, but my family was a sports family. We'd watch Eagles every week. Your grandparents stuff. It was my grandpa that actually got me into sports. He was my guy. But thank you for bringing that up, Donnie. And again, shout out to all the fathers. Thank you to everybody who watched, jumping in here, hanging out. We got a weekend, our first weekend. Let's get to 500 subs. No,
we're going to do it. Well, I'm going to be on social media all weekend. And by the way, we are a show that is live. Christian Pulisic is out today with a calf injury. That just came across from ESPN with a tweet out there. So if Jeff, I saw the eyebrow raise, likes his little Australia action a little bit better. But it is the weekend. And you know what happens, guys? After the weekend, Jeff and I are back on Monday at this point here. By the way, we'll leave you at this as well. Landon Donovan, we talked about going to Turkey, hair transplants here. Guy looks fantastic at this point right now. If I ever lose my hair, Jeff does, we'll get some transplants at that point. But this has been Crossing Lines. We want to thank you for an unbelievable live week. Jeff Nadu, Donnie Rightside. We'll be doing this for a long time. Thank you for the support. We'll catch up with you on Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern. We'll be back at it. Happy Father's Day. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you soon.